towards the right. So I want you to think like you're standing straight, like if you were facing with both feet, you know, towards this right direction here. From here, looking at that right foot, plug it down, all the way down where the blade edge is down. So if the foot is up here, then I need you to slightly, you know, shorten your stance. So plug the foot down, lift the toes up to feel the grounding in the feet. Now I want you to look at the left knee, and I want you to stack it right on top of that ankle there, keeping the right foot plugged in, and pull that right or the left knee towards that pinky toe, which will automatically tuck your pelvis in. So knee comes back to normal, tuck it in, and it tucks the pelvis. And all of a sudden, right here, that right glute, you start to feel it. You start to feel your quadriceps. So take your left hand to the top of the thigh. Feel how that's on fire, to hold that where it's hardening up in that position, and then even in the inner thighs, right? Now, keep your shoulders stacked on top of your hips. So no leaning forward, no leaning back. It's just nice and neutral. So the legs are working here. Take your arms out in a T. So the torso is facing towards the right. I want you to roll the shoulders up and slide them down. Spread the fingers apart. Draw your triceps in to activate your arms. And just turn the head to look over the left middle finger. Keep that knee pulling towards the pinky toe on the left. Keep the right foot grounded and anchored. And then the leg is straight. But be careful not to hyperextend the knee. So here we go. Virabhadrasana B, Warrior 2. Are you shaking? Do you feel everything on fire? Yoga is not just standing there. Now we got to connect the breath. So take a deep breath in and out. Deep breath in and out. One more deep breath in. Exhale those hands down to your hips and go ahead and straighten out that front leg. So you felt it everywhere, right? Your quads, your hamstrings, your shoulders, your biceps, your triceps, everything was holding you in your core to hold you in this position. So go ahead and bend through that left leg and just step the right foot forward. So now we're going to switch sides. So I'm just going to flip around this way. So the right foot's going to come and stand on top of the strap, okay? So go ahead and bend down and step the left foot back to where the strap is right underneath the arch of the foot. And go ahead and come on up. So, same thing here. Look at that left foot, ground it down. If the blade edge is coming up and you can't press it down, shorten your stance. Shoulders are directly over the hips. And now I want you to look at that right leg and bring that knee, stacking it right on top of the ankle. So, if you can't get the ankle stacked where your foot is, right now in the back, step it forwards, because I need to stabilize the joint by having the knee on top of the ankle. So not back, not forward, just stacking it. It helps to stabilize it. Shoulders over the hips, back foot's grounded. Pull that knee towards the pinky toe, which is going to tuck the pelvis in. Then bring it off. See how it changes? All right, so pulling that there, everything's starting to light up. Put your hand, your right hand on top of your quadricep, and notice how it's engaging. Take your left hand and place it on your hamstring. Feel that engagement of the muscles. And this is also what's known as an isometric hold, where you're just holding something in a contraction, right? So, arms come up at a T, spread the fingers apart, roll the shoulders up, slide them down the back, engage your triceps. Then look over the right middle finger, making sure the shoulders are just on top of the hips. Keeping everything engaged, take a deep breath in and out. In and out. One more deep breath in. Exhale, hands to the hips, straighten out that back leg or the front leg. Woo. Do you feel how everything has to engage in these postures? So Hatha is known as like a stubborn, strong practice. And it never gets easier, you get stronger. So go ahead and bend through the front leg and step the left foot back. And we'll go through our fold. So inhale, the hands at heart center, feet are hip width apart. Exhale, coming down into the forward fold. Drop the head, weight is in the ball of the foot. So maybe you can straighten the legs out a little bit since we're warming up more. Inhale into that halfway lift, hands on the shins with us, pull the shoulders back, lift the chest, flatten the spine, shift forward, feel it all in the hamstrings. Exhale, fold. Interlace the fingers, reaching the arms up, 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 up. Belly in, tuck the pelvis and go back, 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 back. Exhale those hands into your heart center. Fabulous. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we are going to work on Uddiyana Trikonasana, which is our extended triangle pose. So from here, we're going to do the same thing for warrior two, but I need you to get a yoga block. So left foot's going to be on top of the yoga strap for our alignment piece. And I want you to take this block, and for now, let's set it up on level 3, which is the highest limit, just behind the ankle on the outside of the foot. Go ahead and bend forward here to bend to the left knee, and I want you to step the right foot back to where the arch is right on top of the strap. So for Uddiyana Trikonasana, make sure, see how my leg is hyperextending here? You put a little bend in the knee. The hips are facing towards the right now, and I want you to take the arms up just like a warrior two. Roll the shoulders up, and now we're going to kick that right hip back, and I want you to look over your left middle finger, and I want you to start reaching forward, reaching forward, reaching forward. When you're doing this, you're going to start to feel that hamstring lighting up, and this is why I need you to have that micro bend in the knee so you don't inadvertently blow your knee out here, your patella, your kneecap. For now, take your right hand to your hip, reach, reach, reach. Left hand's going to come right on top of that block. And the block is here to make the ground closer to you. Holding on to the block here, putting that pressure, and start to open up the chest back towards the right and relax the neck. Don't crunch it in. Neck is nice and long. If you've ever had vertigo, I need you looking down. If you haven't, you can start to look up maybe, or you want to look down for stability. It's up to you. Keeping the engagement in the legs, and I want you to start opening the chest, and I want you to start pulling the right hip in. Then take the right arm up, raising it up towards the ceiling. And then your shoulders are stacked on top of one another, and you're in Uddiyana Trikonasana. And it's not about trying to touch the ground here, it's about keeping the chest open to be in alignment. In time, maybe the hand will come down to the ground, but also it depends on the pelvis and the femur when they hit. So depending on how that's shaped, you may never touch the ground, because once you're bone on bone, you're going nowhere. So take a nice deep breath in. As you exhale, take your right hand to your hip, and now look down if you're looking up. Bend into the left knee, then go ahead and come up. And so that is your Uddiyana Trikonasana. So then from here, bend into that left knee, going to step the feet forward. And then let's just do that forward fold. So here we go. Deep breath in. Forward fold. Weights in the ball of the foot. Drop the head. Inhale, coming into that halfway lift. Pull those shoulders back. Flatten the spine. Shift the weight to the ball of the foot. Exhale down into your fold. Interlace your fingers and step them out in front and come up, 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 up. Belly in, pelvis down, pulling back, 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 back. Exhale the hands in the heart center. Beautiful. So we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So you're going to take your right foot and put it on the yoga strap, and you're going to take the block and you're going to bring it right behind that ankle on the outside. And you may want to take it a little bit farther from the foot. It just depends on where you can reach down. So bend into the knee, left foot's going to step back. And you're going to make sure that the arch is across the yoga strap and your heel is bisecting that arch. So you can see how important alignment is, right? So starting here, take the arms out just like warrior two. Shoulders, roll them down. They're at a T. Start to kick that left hip out. Remember, micro bend in that right leg. Kicking the left hip out, reaching forward, reaching forward, reaching forward with the right. Really starting to feel how this hamstring starts to light up, right? Then take your left hand to your hip. Right hand's going to come down to that yoga block. All right, start to open up. All the way up here towards the left. Remember, look down if you've had vertigo. If not, remember, neck is nice and straight. You should be able to move your head. It's long, it's reaching forward. Maybe you look up, or maybe you're looking down. Then take that left arm up, reaching up high. Pull the left hip in to open up the chest more and engage the legs. Pull the kneecaps up to engage the quads. And everything's on fire. And plug that left foot down in the back. So Uddiyana Trikonasana. Where do you feel it? Everywhere. So take a deep breath in. Exhale, left hand to the hip. Look down, bend into that right knee. Then go ahead and come on up, straighten that leg. Woo! So far we've done your warrior 1, warrior 2, triangle, and we've worked on the folding. So go ahead and bend into that right knee, step the left foot forward, bring the feet hip width apart, bring the hands to heart center. So take a deep breath in. Exhale all the way down into that forward fold. Move the block out of the way if you need to. Remember, you have your buttocks are more in line with the heels of the feet. You're shifting the weight into the ball of the foot. Release the head. Maybe the legs are straightening out now. Inhale into that halfway lift. Pull those shoulders back, flatten that spine. Lift that chin up. Shift the weight forward. Exhale back down into the fold. Interlace the fingers. Bend the knees, bring them up, 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 up. Looking up towards the ceiling. Belly in. Tuck the pelvis and go back, 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 back. Exhale those hands into your heart center. Good job. All right. So now, what I'd like to do is to actually work on Tadasana, or mountain pose. So I'm going to start by teaching you with the actual block. So that way it's not just standing here like this. So taking the block to where the long side with the wide edges are going to go right in between the thighs. And then you're going to start to walk the feet together. So here's it from this angle, then from here. All right. So then I want you to try to bring the feet together as much as you can. Then kind of pigeon the toes towards one another. When you're doing this, I want you to squeeze the block and think about rotating the thighs out. So you're squeezing, you're rotating, everything's going into place. This is going to make you stand up a little taller. Lift the toes up to feel the grounding in the feet. Underneath the big toe, the pinky toe, either side of the hill, center of the hill. Stand up tall. Tuck the pelvis down as you keep rotating those thighs out. Squeezing the block, release the toes only. So this is making you lift your kneecaps up. Feel your thighs. Everything should be engaged here. Your hamstrings, even your butt, right? Pull the shoulders back, chest puffs forward. Flip the palms to face me. Now pinch the scapula together and chin is parallel with the mat. Now you're squeezing, you're rotating the thighs outwards where the knees are pulling out. You're keeping the feet in place. The shoulders are up. The palms are facing me. Your fingers are spread apart. Pinching your scapula together. But are you breathing? So this is Tadasana. This is mountain pose. It's not just standing here, is it? So everybody take a deep breath in. And out. In. And out. Lift your toes up. In. Squeeze that block. And out. Don't cheat. Just because you can hold it there doesn't mean I don't know that you're not squeezing it. Deep breath in and out. If you're in one of my physical classes, I walk around and I grab a hold of your quads to see if you're actually engaging them. And I also put my finger right in between those scapula to make sure you're pinching them like you're holding a marble in place. As I say in my classes, no cheaters in here, guys. We're here to be in proper alignment, to use our energy wisely, and to make sure we get the full benefit out of the pose. All right, here we go. Deep breath in. Exhale, release the toes. You can let the thighs rotate. Lower that. Shoulders down. And just feel that. All right, so I have a surprise for you. Keep that block wherever it is. I want you to have the feet where they're hip width apart. The feet are pointing forward. Okay, just like when we're standing there. So you should be at about hip width distance because you're squeezing that block for dear life, right? Who needs a thigh master when you've got a yoga block? So bring your hands to heart center. I want you to take a deep breath in. As you exhale, forward, and I want you to squeeze that block. Squeeze it. squeeze it, squeeze it, squeeze it. Come all the way down. Feel how everything is engaging. Heel, drop the head. Shift the weight forward, ball of the foot. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. Inhale, hands into the chin, shoulders back, flatten the spine. Lift that chin up. Is it on fire? Shift the weight with the ball of the foot. Exhale, coming all the way down into that forward fold, shifting the weight forward. Then inhale, coming all the way up into standing, sweeping those arms all the way up, pulling up, up, up. Pull the belly in, tuck the pelvis, squeeze that block, and go back, 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 back. Then exhale, those hands into heart center. Right? It's pretty different. All right, so we're going to go ahead and remove that block. Don't throw it at your phone. Don't throw it at me, as I say in class. And then just bring the hands to heart center. Feet are hip width apart. Roll the shoulders up. Slide them down. And then I just want you to stand here. Close your eyes for a second. Think about the 3-part breath. And think about that personal intention that you set at the very beginning of your practice. Deep inhalations and exhalations. Or think about inhaling where the belly rises, the ribs come apart, the chest rises up. Exhaling, chest, ribs, belly. Inhale, belly, ribs, chest. Beautiful. Keeping here at this nice, hip width distance. What we're going to do is we're going to inhale the arms into cactus, pull those elbows back, drop the head, pinch the scapula together. Then as we exhale, we're going to bring the palms and the forearms together, and then we're going to pull up. Here we go. Inhale, cactus, open that chest, pinch the scapula together. Exhale, palms, forearms coming in. Keep doing this as you inhale into cactus. Exhale the palms and the forearms together. Do this at your own breath. Now, if this is a little too hard for you to do this in this movement, instead of doing the forearms to the palms together, just cross opposite hand, the opposite shoulder, chin to the chest, belly in and lean forward. And we'll get the same movement that we want in the back of the scapula, right there into those little shoulder wave blades, or like your angel wings. So keep going. Do what works for you. Just move with the breath. That's all I'm asking for you to do, is to move with the breath. All right, last one, make it the very best one. And when you're done, just bring those hands back to heart center, roll the shoulders up, slide them down, and connect with the breath. That 3-part breath. Full inhalations and exhalations, but it's moving in 3 distinctive parts. As you inhale, the belly rises, the ribs come apart, the chest rises up. Exhale, chest, ribs, belly. Beautiful. All right, so now we're going to get down to the mat the best way that we can. And so the yoga strap is down here, so go ahead and move that strap out of the way and just fold it in half for me, okay? And just place it on either side of the mat. Then sit down, and I want you to straighten the legs out. And I want you to notice something here. Are your legs straight, or do you have a bend in them? And are you kind of leaning forward? It's the same thing when we started out sitting on the block or not. So if you have a blanket, you can fold it and put it underneath you, or you can sit on a yoga block. And what that's going to do, it's going to allow you to straighten those legs out because you're tilting the pelvis in a more natural position for yourself. Then your shoulders come up. Then you can breathe fully here. Look at that. So from here, what I want you to do is to take that yoga strap and just loop it around the ball of the foot here. Having a hard time. So hold on to it like horse reins. And then what I want you to do is sit up tall. Think 90-degree angle, so you're not leaning back holding on. You're sitting up nice and tall. Now, sit up tall. Pull onto the straps so the ball of the foot has pressure on and the toes are coming back towards you. Your ankles are touching. Pull the shoulders back. Pinch the scapula together. Chest is forward. Chin is up, parallel with the mat. What we're doing is a version of Paschimottanasana, or forward fold. This is also called Dandasana. So this is a staff pose where you start off with. So take a deep breath in and out. Pinch those scapulae together. Sit up tall. Chin out of the chest. You know who you are. Deep breath in and out. In and out. Now what you can do is you can wrap that strap around your hands, keeping the spine straight, pulling the shoulders back. You can lean forward some. Lifting the chin forward, chest comes forward, spine straight. Breathe in and out. Hollow the belly out. In and out. One more in. Exhale, come on up. All right. So for those that don't have a lot of flexibility here, keep the strap where it is. Just release it a little bit. I'm going to come off of this block now. And still use it if you need it to keep your legs straight. For me, that felt a little bit awkward because I can have my legs down on the ground. Now, for those of you with the strap, keep holding it and you can lean, pulling the shoulders back and chest forward. Some of you may have a little bit more flexibility, so I wanted to give you the options here. So, option number one, maybe you're holding onto your shins. If you're doing that, don't roll the shoulders forward just so you can do it. I want the shoulders back, chest forward, chin up, and then breathing. That's option number one. Option number two is maybe you can touch your toes, but same thing. Just because you can touch your toes, if you got your head in between your arms and you're rolling your shoulders forward, or you're trying to bend your knees, that's cheating, we're not doing that. So if you can touch your toes, and you come in, roll the shoulders forward, then roll them back to pull the chest forward, and the spine is straight. And you'll feel a big, big stretch. You try to keep the feet together, pulling the toes back towards you. Full inhalations, full exhalations. And maybe that's your happy point. You're going to stay there. For others, you may have a lot of flexibility here. So you can take a yoga block. You can do level 1 or 2 or 3, whatever works for you, right? So you're going to put the block right there on the ball of the foot. Same thing there. Get your fingers wrapped around it. Roll the shoulders in first so you get your grip. Then roll them back, pulling the chest through and the chin's up. And you're breathing. So everybody, deep breath in no matter where you're at. And out. Deep breath in. And out. One more deep breath in. Exhale. Release the block, the strap. And just come on up. And just place it to the side. Give your legs a little kick because I know that can be tough. And then what I want you to do is to bend your knees put your hands on the floor and scooch forward to where you get your toes on the edge of the mat. And then all I want you to do, well first, maybe do a little bit of house cleaning. So you have the blocks on the sides of you, move them up towards the front. Go ahead and move that yoga strap up towards the front and lie on your back. I know we've made it to the mat, isn't it awesome? Then just take your knees into your chest. Wrap your arms around them, and this is what's known as Vipassana. Knees to chest, and just kind of rock from side to side. But be mindful that you don't go ahead and roll all the way over to one side. Breathing here, enjoying this little stretch. And then go ahead and take the feet flat down. Keep the knees together. Then take your arms out either to cactus or to a T to where you anchor your shoulders on the ground. And then take a deep breath in, hold the breath, pull the belly in, and begin to drop the knees towards the right, and then anchor the shoulders down so the legs don't go that far. And this is also an opportunity, if you have a problem here, keeping the legs this way, maybe putting a block underneath, that releases the stress and the pressure, but you still get this twist in the lower lumbar spine, and you can always look towards the left. Just let the body weight do it for you. Keep the shoulders plugged down. That's a way that you can actually deepen your practice. Full inhalations, full exhalations. Just a little spinal twisting to release everything that we did today. Now take a deep breath in, pull the belly in, then pull the knees up to center to look up towards the center. And that's going to protect that low spine because it makes you engage your core. So here we go. Take a deep breath in. Hold the breath, belly in, drop the knees towards the left. You can exhale the breath and you can look over towards the right and just breathing fully and completely. Close the eyes if you'd like. This is your practice, remember? Just a few more breaths here. One more deep breath in. Hold the breath, belly in, bring those knees back to center, look up towards the ceiling. Exhale, knees come into the chest. Rock it a little bit from side to side. And then stop rocking. Take a breath in. Exhale, bringing the forehead into the knees, tucking into a tight, tight little bowl. Take a breath in. Exhale, lowering the head down first, nice and slow. Then extend your legs out one at a time, coming into your Shavasana. And then the arms will come out, palms will face up. And then maybe it feels good to have the legs up the wall, or maybe even putting a yoga block right underneath the tailbone to provide a little leverage for like a supported shoulder stand. So it's right at the sacrum there, right on the tailbone. It's on level 1. And then maybe it feels good just to have the legs bent like this. Or for some of you, it may feel really good just to stretch the legs out and maybe have the arms up overhead. And just we're going to be here for a few minutes, so get nice and comfortable. And you don't have to put the block underneath you, it's just an option. So get comfortable, close your eyes. Full inhalations, full exhalations, because you finally made it. You got into your Shavasana. So as you're lying there in Savasana, which is horse pose, and in yoga, it's actually probably the most important pose that we do in the entire practice. Because it says that you die a little bit in each practice, but you're reborn. You're fresh, you're ready to go. It's kind of like a renewal. So, thinking about that, it's a very beautiful thing. So, breathing in and out, start to focus on the 3-part breath, where you inhale at the belly, the ribs, the chest, exhaling chest, ribs, belly. Now, when you're in Shavasana, it is not nap time. Your yoga mat is not a nap pad when you were back in school. This is actually an opportunity that you have to be quiet and still and be with yourself, and that's why it's so difficult sometimes, because you're left there with your own thoughts. But I'm going to give you something to think about. I want you to think about what you learned about yourself in your practice. What did you learn? Not just from a physical standpoint, but think about it from like an inner self, like a higher consciousness, like mental and emotional standpoint. There's no right or wrong answer. I just want you to think about that. What did you learn? Just breathe. I'm going to strike the bowl, and I want you to feel the vibration go up and down the spine, down the bones of the legs, the feet, the toes, down your shoulders, through your arms, through your fingers, up your neck, through the top of your head. Breathe. And think about your inner consciousness, your higher consciousness.
deeper breath into the body. And start to wiggle in the fingers and the toes, starting to bring life back into it. And make it feel really nice to lift the arms up overhead for a nice good morning stretch. Maybe even interlace the fingers, flip the palms back to have a nice deep center body stretch. Then stretch to the right, to the left, toes pointing the opposite direction. Then begin to bend the knees with the feet flat on the ground. And just roll over to whatever side feels good. It may feel nice to wrap your arms around your knees, tucking yourself into that tight little ball, like that fetal position, or using your bottom arm like your bicep as a pillow. Just be comfortable. Have that reflection for yourself. And then I want you to remember to fill your hearts with peace, harmony, laughter, and life. Take a deep breath in with your top arm and your top leg. Begin to press yourself up into a comfortable seated position. Keep the eyes closed, please. Sit up nice and tall. Palms can be face down, face up, or even cradled in your lap with the thumbs touching, or connecting the index finger and the thumbs for that grounding mudra from Muladhara up the root chakra. And I want you to take a deep breath in, sigh it out. Deep breath in, sigh it out. One more time, deep breath in, sigh it out. And bring the palms together at heart center, bowing your head for Anjali Mudra. And then I just want to thank you for sharing your practice with me today. I'm so grateful, I'm so humbled. I would like to end practice with one Om. If you'd like to participate, let's take a nice deep breath to begin. The light and love in me honors the light and love in each of you, and I bow to you all with Namaste. I hope you had a good practice. Join me next time. We'll go into a half a flow, routine, and that way you can apply what you learned today. Have a great day,